Hi, I'm Steven Malinowski, and I'm making this channel, 1224 Hobbies, to talk about hobbies and hopefully get you into one. Um, Hobbies are really a very important thing that it seems to me less and less people have. I know it seems kind of silly, but when I ask people nowadays, what's your hobby? It seems more and more people are responding, I don't have one. I don't have any hobbies. So that's not good. It's not great. Sure, it can be hard to find the time, the money, and the energy for a hobby, but hobbies are really important. Hobbies are a way for us to vent our creativity, something everyone has, into either a physical art or a performance art. And along the way, you also gain new skills and refine the ones you already have. So I was born in 1983, and I know that when I was young, I had a lot of hobbies. Um, yeah, I made a lot of great memories, and they played an important role in my life in finding myself and finding the things I was interested in. And they probably played a role in my mental and physical development too. But once you're an adult with a full time job, it seems impossible to keep up with a hobby. And once I had my kids, twins, by the way, forget about it. So the first reason I'm making this channel is I've noticed myself subtly changing. I'm more apprehensive, less sure of myself, and as a result, I procrastinate. Um, so since I'm not as confident in myself, I'm doing this YouTube channel as a confidence building hobby. Maybe you're like that. Or maybe you have a lot of stress from work, for financials, or from something else. Um, all of those things make it seem like it's harder to start a hobby, but truthfully, I'm finding the opposite to be true. That they're indicators that you should have one, and I'm finding setting aside time for a hobby is relieving me of my stress. So some hobbies are more expensive than others. That's true. But some don't really require a lot of money at all, and those are the kind of hobbies I'm going to try to focus on. So the second reason I'm doing this channel, and what I think will make this channel unique, is I'm going to be focused on trying to get my family involved in different hobbies. So my wife and I lived together for years before our kids came along, and after having kids, we're just not on the same wavelength anymore. That's not to say our relationship is bad by any stretch. I just mean I miss spending time with my wife. Yeah, I just miss spending time with my wife the way we used to. So right now we do spend time together, and we are in a good place, maybe even a great place, honestly. But when we made music together or practiced martial arts together, we were on this whole different level. And I want to get back there. I want to get there again. And this time, I want to do it with my kids and forge a lifelong bond over some hobby. Um, so yeah, that way, like when that transition happens from a parent, from becoming, a parent-child relationship to an adult relationship, like when the kids are leaving the house, going to university, to find themselves, they already have some basis to connect with me and their mother. Um, I didn't really have any reason to do that with my father. I mean, outside of him being my father, and I loved him, so I'd call him and check on him and visit him. But there wasn't really any connecting thread until I was a homeowner in my 30s, and he helped me with my house. And that's what I used to do with him when I was a kid. Would be help fix. We had an apartment we rented out, so I helped him fix the apartment. So yeah, doing home renovation stuff was my bond. So, but it took me until my 30s. So hopefully, doing a hobby or something, I can get my kids to say during spring break at university, "Hey, I want to go home." I hit the skate park with my mom and dad instead of, "Oh, I need to go call my parents," and something like that. And then the last reason I'm making this channel is I want to examine for myself exactly what having young kids does to the equation of having a hobby. Yeah, so before I met my wife, I loved tinkering with electronics, fixing old stuff, and playing my trumpet, right? And then meeting my wife, well, she had different hobbies too, and then we had combined hobbies, and that changed the whole equation. So my wife's hobbies were photography and sewing, and she kept doing those things. I kept doing my things, but we both dialed back in order to make time to do hobbies together. And like like many couples, we spent way too much time watching TV. But the memories that are really special for us are the memories we made together doing hobbies. Like when we took a history class on the area in Korea we live, Yangpyeong, or when we studied traditional Korean martial arts together, called Taekyon. Yeah, or even we learned a traditional Korean instrument, the gayagum, together. So all of those things were only a few hours a week, but they were all really memorable. And my kids have added this whole other dimension to this. So it's hard to explain. So while my wife and I put our together hobbies away, like we shelved them because we had kids, we didn't have any time. The kids have been introducing us to new things and new hobbies, and we're just now starting to opt into them instead of watching, be passive observers. We're starting to try to get into them, and I just think it's really wild how kids can introduce you to stuff. Like I thought the flow would be the other way, that I would be introducing my kids to things for a couple more years at least, but no, not really. Um, yeah, they're introducing me to stuff I never thought I would try to be interested in. So like when my kids were between 1 and 2, they were interested in trains, and I fueled that by taking them to a model train museum, and I bought a Lionel train set to go around the Christmas tree that Christmas, and then another model train set. So I thought it'd be fun, a fun hobby to build a model train set with the kids. Yeah, but I would never have gotten into model trains without them. And then, yeah, that's really where I got the idea for this channel. 'Cause I thought that was so wild that I got so into model trains, and it's something I've never really been interested in. So that will be the first topic this channel will cover. And then almost opposite of that, because I encouraged that, right? But almost opposite of that, my kids saw older kids at the park riding skateboards when they were younger, and my daughter wanted a skateboard probably from over a year ago when she was like 3. So unlike trains, I opposed that, but she never stopped asking. She never stopped wanting to skate. And from a month ago, my son also has started asking to skate. So for their 4th birthday, my wife and I, we gave in and we got them skateboards. And remembering the theme of this channel and my personal goals of finding a family hobby, I also got boards for my wife and I. So yeah, so we're gonna go into that as a family, and yeah, go in together and see what see what we can make of it as a family hobby. So I'll probably cover skateboarding in a future episode, and that's assuming my kids actually enjoy it once they start doing it and don't just throw their skateboards to the curb. But yeah, this channel is going to cover a lot of different hobbies, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to start with model railroading and building a model railroad. But I'd be surprised if I don't cover skateboarding in a future episode, down the line. We just have to see how our family integrates skateboarding, right? And to be honest, I didn't really like skateboarding growing up. I was into Ninja Turtles and I asked for a skateboard, and my parents got me a pretty cheap one, and it was really unenjoyable to skate. And now I was researching for my kids, and I'm realizing just how good skateboarding can be. It builds your self-confidence and it builds your perseverance because you have to try stuff over and over and over again. So it develops your mind, and then it also develops your body and your mental control over your body. So it seems like an overall pretty good sport. It's dangerous, but a good sport for our health. So yeah, so we're gonna give it a shot. And then as time goes on and our hobbies change, hobbies change like the seasons. I'll be talking about different hobbies on this channel, and hopefully that'll keep the channel fresh. Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely I'm going to be starting on the train first. I've been preparing to do the train layout for years, saving. It's gone through several different versions of itself. I just sold off most of the track I got to start with. And then it'll also be interesting to see how the kids deal with making a diorama, because dioramas are pretty small, fragile. They did help me paint the hobby room I'm in. So they're okay painters for the 10 minutes they did it. And they did a really good job actually painting this little model house for the train layout. Yeah, so hopefully I can include them, and I'm going to do my absolute best to include them as much as I can during the building process. So in closing, if you don't have a hobby, I'd highly recommend looking into one. Hopefully this channel helps you find your hobby. And yeah, watching other creators, other videos, other looking at art, physical performance. It's all a great way to pass time, and it's by no means a bad thing in moderation, but it doesn't give you that creative outlet you need. You have a spark of creativity. You have to use it. That's all I want, is for you to find your spark, find your hobby. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.